Thanks. Well, it is party time on the East Coast for VillaReal, a fifth successive season of European football secured by last week's win at Deportivo La Coruña. Now they look to sign off another successful season in style with a first ever league double over Real Madrid. That is their target. The visitors with rather more immediate European commitments on their minds just a week before they kick off the Champions League final in Kiev against Liverpool. This game will form part of their preparations rather than an unwanted distraction, according to coach Zinedine Zidane, who goalkeeper Keylor Navas' side has brought his strongest available squad to Estadio de la Ceramica. A Real Madrid win and Atletico would still need something at home to Eibar tomorrow to secure second place. Even if whatever happens here, it's been a disappointing title defence from Los Merengues, currently 15 points behind Barcelona, and their season will only really be defined by what happens in Ukraine in 7 nights' time. But our preparations continue with this one. We are about to get off and underway. Jose Sanchez Martinez is the referee. It will be Real Madrid to get the action started on TalkSport 2 in their traditional colours, all in the white, against the yellow submarine. The home side playing, as we look at it, from right to left in this first half, with Andres Fernandez in goal, Mario Bonera Gonzalez and Adrian Mara in the back four, Rodrigo Hernandez, Pablo Fornals, Javi Fuego, Roberto Soriano and Nicolas Sansoni either side of Enes Unal. Lucas Zidane makes a debut for Real Madrid in goal. Dani Carvajal, Sergio Ramos, Rafael Varane and Marcelo the back four, Toni Kroos, Casemiro and Luka Modric, Gareth Bale and Isco either side of the returning Cristiano Ronaldo. All eyes on the superstars in white to see if they can emerge from the next 90 minutes unscathed, injury-free, with a week to go to that Champions League final. A big call by Zinedine Zidane to involve all of his star names from the start tonight. The final fixture of the La Liga season for these two. VillaReal will finish it in fifth. They have European football to look forward to again next season. Real Madrid still hoping, it is a remote hope, to overhaul Atleti and finish best of the rest behind Barcelona, who have taken the title off them. Already did so with 4 games to spare. The action underway on the East Coast at Estadio de la Ceramica. Real Madrid settling into some early possession on the edge of their own penalty area. Interesting, Reece Weston, to see the tempo that they try and set from the start.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully expect Madrid to try and monopolise possession. They want to dictate the pace of the game. I'm sure they will pull Villarreal out of their shape. So they say that they go long, looking for the run of Gareth Bale. But, Madrid, they're very adept at keeping possession, but with the pace they've got at their disposal with Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo and the goal of Luka Modric and Isco, they've got such a wealth of attacking options, haven't they, Madrid?
Such an impressive second half of the season. Goal difference 14 better than Atletico, but it will only come down to goal difference if the sides finish the season level on points. Head-to-head record is level, 2 draws in the Madrid derby this season. Atletico already celebrating a European trophy this week. Real Madrid hoping to follow suit next weekend. Early touch of the ball for Lucas Zidane as he comes to collect on the edge of his own penalty area there. 20 years of age now, the French goalkeeper, son of Zinedine, and it's a huge occasion for him, making his senior debut. He's featured in friendlies for them. He's played for the reserve side. He's played in the UEFA Youth League previously, but stepping up to the senior ranks for the first time tonight.
That's a nice one for him, though, isn't it? Away at Villarreal. Villarreal already qualified for Europe. Madrid just a bit of a dress rehearsal for the Champions League final. Young man should go and enjoy himself.
Marcelo's going to put the ball out of play over on the far side at the moment, because Villarreal have a man down with just a couple of minutes on the clock. Keylor Navas will be the starting goalkeeper, injury aside next week. It'll be his 3rd successive Champions League final. Still, the talk goes on of a new goalkeeper arriving maybe at the Bernabeu. In fact, it's believed that Zinedine Zidane had a little bit of a falling out with Florentino Perez, the president, back in January. Didn't want to sign a new goalkeeper because he thought it would actually block the path of progress of his son Luka.
That's a fair point, but again, arguing with the president is never usually advisable. When you're Zinedine Zidane, I guess you can get away with it, but I'm just trying to figure out how on earth the maestro's son has turned out to be a goalkeeper.
Absolutely. Might be called upon here, though. Villarreal with the first attack through Enes Unal. Takes the shot on right-footed from the edge of the penalty area, just the wide of the box there, the Turkish international striker, and it flashes just wide across the face of goal.
Sloppy from Sergio Ramos, trying to play out. Lackadaisical, trying to feed the ball to Toni Kroos, gets cut out, and then Enes Unal goes across the goal, as you'd expect. Doesn't draw a save from young Luca. Just goes despairingly wide of his left-hand post.
And come VillaReal again, looking to pick away through the heart of the Real Madrid defence. Roberto Soriano, the Italian international, on that occasion, looking to try and test out Lucas Zidane. Enzo, also a midfield player, rather more understandably, who was also on Real Madrid's books under Zinedine Zidane, got to the fringes of the first team squad before being allowed to depart for Alaves, and is now in Switzerland actually at Lausanne Sport. We also have Teo and Alias as part of the Real Madrid Academy. 4 footballing brothers, all involved at Real Madrid.
Well, imagine having those footsteps to follow in though. It must be so difficult having such a famous father and such an incredible player he was as well.
Patrolling the touchline tonight, looking to take this team to a 3rd successive Champions League title as well. He's already their first coach in the Champions League era to successfully defend it. His team in possession in midfield with Luka Modric. Back to Toni Kroos on the halfway line. Modric again, just advancing a couple of paces forward before Isco takes over, works it wide for Dani Carvajal. He'll be grateful of this game. Hasn't featured since that hamstring injury in the first leg of the Champions League semi-final against Bayern. Back in training all week. Luka Modric goes cross-field from right to left for Marcelo, brings it under control beautifully, takes on Mario Gaspar, the backpedaling captain of VillaReal. Shot is teed up and hit with some venom from just outside the penalty area by Sergio Ramos, joining in with the attack as well. It called the first save of note from Andres Fernandez away to his left-hand side.
You know, a couple of great switches of play within that move. Firstly, Marcelo to the right-hand side and then returned by Luka Modric. It came to Sergio Ramos in the edge of the box. He's trying to fade one towards the far corner. Good save by the goalkeeper.
Here comes the corner in from the right-hand side, and somehow, despite a very congested penalty area, it's missed pretty much everybody in the middle there. Bounce really along the edge of the 6-yard box, and Villarreal are able to bring it away on their right-hand side.
Yeah, good ball in. Really good delivery from the far side. Just shows how important set plays are in modern football. It's an art, it really is, to get that ball in the right area at the right pace and trajectory, and they certainly did that on that occasion, Madrid.
Just over 5 minutes in on TalkSport 2, Villarreal 0. Real Madrid 0. Free kick to the home side on the halfway line, taken pretty quickly by Rodri. What a season he's had. Rodrigo Hernandez in the heart of the midfield, winning his first call-up for Spain in March. Julian Lopetegui, by the way, is waiting until Monday after this final round of La Liga fixtures to confirm his squad for the World Cup finals. A little bit of space worked well by Nicolas Sansoni, and then taking over Pablo Fornals through the middle, works it wide for Mario to deliver the cross. He had 3 in yellow to try and pick out in the penalty area, and he's overhit it all the way out actually on this near side for the throw.
It's so frustrating, isn't it? You work the ball into good areas and Mario gets to the byline and just overhits it. He beats the first man as you'd hope him to do, and he just puts far too much on it. An opportunity goes begging for VillaReal to get some quality into the Madrid 18-yard box for the first time this evening.
Madrid trying to build from the back. The ball from Marcelo, aimed in the direction of Cristiano Ronaldo, tight to the left touchline. Has just gone out of play. They're looking for a first ever league double. They won at the Bernabeu for the very first time in January. Did Villarreal, one of the shock results round about the turn of the year. Real Madrid's form has picked up noticeably since then in La Liga, but the damage was already done. Too far adrift of Barcelona after the first half of the season. They've never really got close to defending their title. Do have it here on the left-hand side with Ronaldo, drawing a couple of defenders immediately to him. Sergio Ramos, though, cuts out the clearance. Ronaldo shifts it onto that right foot and goes for a goal again. It was a vicious, swerving effort, beaten out by Andres Fernandez. It was pretty much straight at him, but it was still an awkward one for the goalkeeper.
It was the old Ronaldo technique. He's managed to get that ball up and dipping and swerving from all of 30 yards. And Andres didn't take any risk there, just poured it away. A shot on target from Ronaldo, and it was just a little sign of intent to try and silence the Brew Boys a little bit. Every time he touches the ball, he gets a barrage of abuse, doesn't he? But he always rises to the occasion. That's his way of silencing the masses.
25 goals in 26 appearances in La Liga so far this season for Cristiano Ronaldo. Normally you'd be more than happy with that, wouldn't you? But it's actually his joint lowest total since he arrived at the club in 2009 in a La Liga season, albeit it's the fewest minutes that he's played in any of those seasons.
It's pathetic, isn't it, really?
It's unbelievable. 15 Champions League goals to go with that as well. taking his team to the brink of that third successive title in that competition. He's looking to warm up for the big kick-off in Kiev in 7 nights' time. Here's Gareth Bale in possession, midway inside the VillaReal half, just drifting into a central role again before Casemiro will square it to his right. Dani Carvajal playing it forward. Cristiano Ronaldo with a roaming role in the three-man Madrid attack. He's guided back by Soriano, helping out his defence. And now with Nicola Sansoni, he's almost level with the edge of his own penalty area as well. Roberto Soriano just ahead of him. The two Italians try and combine. They reach halfway with it before Toni Kroos is able to step in, play it back to Rafa Varane, and Real Madrid with nearly 9 minutes on the clock on TalkSport 2, still 0-0, but very comfortable in possession in their own half, trying to pick the pass further forward here for Luka Modric. Wide right is Dani Carvajal, back in towards Modric again. He's had another impressive season in the heart of that midfield. 7 assists so far this season is his most for the club in any campaign since he arrived from Tottenham. The challenge here though is on Toni Kroos, and that is going to be a free kick for the visitors.
Yeah, look at Modric, it's one of those players, I'm so delighted that he's finally getting the plaudits he deserves. He's one of these players that I'd never see have a bad game.
There's Isco looking to link with Gareth Bale inside the penalty area. They play the 1-2 between them. Mario got enough of a foot in to divert the initial danger. Bale trying to close him down. Kroos is putting the pressure on as well as it goes back to Andres Fernandez. There are so many, aren't they, in this Real Madrid squad? Model of consistency, certainly over the second half of the season. Luka Modric very much a case in point as he lays it off here wide right for Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo with a flashing feet delivers the cross just a shade too high for Gareth Bale, who rose well far post, just couldn't quite reach it.
Just came off his line a little bit too early there, Gareth Bale, didn't he? It was great vintage Ronaldo, step over to the byline, stands a delightful ball to the back post. You're hoping Gareth Bale just hangs out a little bit. He was in too early, but he's here now.
Gareth Bale is in again, and Gareth Bale fires it. Real Madrid in front with just a shade over 10 minutes played. VillaReal caught out there on the edge of their own penalty area, and Gareth Bale's fine form at the end of this season continues. 5 goals in his last 4 appearances now. He took this so smartly. Free kick had been taken quickly from halfway, spun away from Daniele Bonera through the legs really of the Italian centre-back, and the finish into the corner was unerring.
That was a great finish, emphatic really. Good bit of skill initially to get away from Bonera. Bonera then recovers. Gareth gets a little bit of luck. The tackle diverts the ball into his path on his right foot. He sweeps it home, the near post. Andres Fernandez had no chance with that. And a clinical finish by Gareth Bale. And just to touch on what we spoke about prior to kick-off, I think it'd be very, very harsh on Gareth Bale not to start in the Champions League final, especially against that fragile Liverpool back four. They need pace, Real Madrid, against Liverpool. You look at the front three of Liverpool: Salah, Firmino and Mane. That's a real threat, and Real Madrid have got that in spades as well, but Gareth Bale's got to start for me.
He's made the early breakthrough here. VillaReal are looking for the instant response. Nicola Sansoni inside the penalty area down the left-hand side. Support arriving from Rodrigo. Sansoni again back down the line for Adrian Marin, the inexperienced left-back. Bale getting back there doing his defensive duties, and you do feel that he has found form at just the right time for the Champions League final.
He does. He looks confident. He looks comfortable. You know, at times you see Gareth Bale, sometimes he looks a little bit out of sorts, but in recent weeks he's looked like the Gareth Bale we've come to know, and it's great timing from him. And look, he's in terms of his physicality as well, you can see how he's developed as an athlete since he's gone to Real Madrid as well. He looks the part. He's strong, still got his dynamism, he's still quick, but he's adding goals to his repertoire, and he'd be welcomed with open arms to any team in the Premier League, I'm sure of that.
He wouldn't be short of suitors if he does depart Madrid come the summer, and despite what has been at times a difficult season for him personally, it's still his 16th league goal of the season, that one.
I think the benchmark for Real Madrid is slightly higher than most, isn't it? You're talking about disappointing seasons when people are scoring 16 goals and 25 goals. It's phenomenal stats, isn't it, really, when you look at it like that?
Fond memories he has of this fixture as well. It was against VillaReal. He made his debut for Real Madrid and scored his first goal for the club. 19 goals in total now this season across 4 different competitions for Gareth Bale. It's his goal at Stadio della Ceramica on TalkSport 2 that has made the early breakthrough. Real Madrid, as it stands, on course to move up to second above Atleti at least until tomorrow, when their neighbours play their final fixture. Needing something from the game if Real Madrid win here to ensure they finish above them in the table, battling for the minor honours below Barcelona. Real Madrid currently 15 points adrift of Barca, who took their title with those 4 games to spare, but beaten in that remarkable game last weekend to ensure they won't go through the entire La Liga season unbeaten, as it looked like they were about to do. What have Villarreal got in response here? 13.5 on the clock. They got a throw on the far side. Mario Gaspar with it, bundled back out of play by Toni Kroos. And they have made changes, 7 of them, Javier Calleja and his team today. Whatever happens, they will finish 5th because of the result earlier in the day, and an impressive run of 4 wins in their last 5 fixtures. It's almost a shot to nothing here as they try and do the double over Real Madrid, and they make good ground down their right-hand side. It was a strong run from Enes Unal, who's getting his chance with no Carlos Bacca, and he's looking a handful in the early stages.
He is looking a handful. He's quick, but it was great tracking by Casemiro. Fantastic challenge. And that was shot a vicious glance at the referee's assistant when the free kick wasn't given, but it was great defensive midfield play, and he looks lively. He's got pedigree, turning international, as you say, and it's these games that give players the opportunity to stake a claim.
Yeah. Former Manchester City man, of course. They've had about £12 million to City for him last summer. He did go out on loan earlier this season at Levante before he was recalled in December. Has 5 goals in La Liga, 6 caps for Turkey. Carlos Bacca is their top scorer, not involved today. 15 goals he's got on loan from AC Milan, and talks, I understand, are continuing to try and make that a permanent deal for next year. There is an option to sign him permanently, but it's understood Villarreal don't want to pay the 15 million euros, which I think they would have to automatically activate that option. They're trying to negotiate the fee down a little bit, so in the meantime the Colombian's future remains in some doubt.
That's what I mean. It's just crazy, isn't it? They want him, they want to sign him, they don't want to pay for him. Somebody's going to have to give.
Maybe he hasn't helped their cause scoring those 15 goals, has he, in terms of his price tag. A ball out of play for a goal kick to Villarreal here with a quarter of an hour on the clock on TalkSport 2. Villarreal 0, Real Madrid 1. Gareth Bale just over 10 minutes in with the only goal so far tonight. Villarreal will advance through Roberto Soriano, drifting infield from a starting position on the left. Rodrigo working it wide right for Mario to stride forward from full-back. He does have support to his right as well. Marcelo with an important challenge initially prevented him locating the support that was being provided by Pablo Fornals. His cross though blocked behind for the corner.
It was a great bit of play by Villarreal. It started with the goalkeeper from a goal kick, and they've worked the ball up the field, through the midfield, out wide. It was good defending by Sergio Ramos in the end. Held the Fornals in a good position, but couldn't beat the first man. But they've got a corner for their troubles, Villarreal.
She may well go to take himself. Fornals, very much the creative force in this very Villarreal side this season. 12 La Liga assists, joint most with Messi. They worked the corner short actually in the end before the cross is aimed towards Alvaro Gonzalez. Appeals for a hand in there as it was cleared away, but instead Real Madrid are able to launch the counter-attack with Rafa Varane, who's one of the furthest forward actually, the centre-back, then lofts it cross-field, nodded down by Isco, into the path of Cristiano Ronaldo. He's got about 6 or 7 yellow shirts blocking his path to goal. Doesn't deter him from taking the shot on as he spins onto that left foot. The effort, when it came about 25-30 yards out, was harmlessly wide of the goalkeeper's right-hand post.
I think it's only probably Cristiano Ronaldo that will get away with that.
Yeah.
A speculative 35-yard shot with your weaker left foot when you've got runners outside you. But that's what defines him as one of the world's best, I guess, taking opportunities, taking risks. We're seeing a replay of Gareth Bale's finish, a fantastic finish with his weaker right foot.
Yeah, perfectly placed, wasn't it? Past Andres Fernandez. We've talked about Lucas Zidane in one goal. It's a big day as well for Fernandez in the other, because he hasn't played since the first couple of games of the season. Actually suffered a knee injury in defeat at Real Sociedad back in August. A nightmare start to the season. It was a nightmare start to his season as well. Only returned to fitness last month. Lost both of those starts at the opening of the campaign. Not much he could do about Bale's goal, and Villarreal now have it with Roberto Soriano trying to do something about the scoreline here, cutting infield from the left onto his right foot. Didn't really generate the power in the shot though to trouble the goalkeeper. It was straight at Luca.
He opened it up well, Soriano, didn't he? He was always going to try and come inside and shoot with his right foot. He just couldn't get enough purchase on that, and Luca gathered it comfortably into his chest. That would do his confidence the world of good. A couple of comfortable saves in the opening 20 minutes for him.
Luka Modric trying to foray forward, but he was stopped in his tracks, and here comes the counter maybe. Sansoni with support from Enesuna. Sansoni gets it back again with a little back heel. Casemiro, as he often is the one in the way to break it up though in that Real Madrid midfield, and he finds Isco in a pocket of space in the centre circle. To his right is Luka Modric, back to Isco, and now return to Modric again. The Croatian looking to pull the strings in the midfield. Toni Kroos will work it wide left. Marcelo joining in with the attack as well. Time to set himself before delivering the cross. He was looking for Gareth Bale. It was Javi Fuego in the way to cut that one out. Marcelo will let it go for the throw rather than attempting a second cross. Takes it quickly. Kroos goes back towards Sergio Ramos though, and they return it here to the halfway line. And the Frenchman Rafa Varane with pretty much everything in front of him. Dani Carvajal back to Varane again, who'd continued his run a little further forward. Now Isco wide on the right hand side, back to Carvajal. Villarreal having to do a fair bit of work here without the ball.
Yeah, they're getting put through their paces by Real Madrid, aren't they? Madrid so happy in possession, moving the ball sideways, backwards, forwards, and Villarreal still a little bit unsure of how to press. It's allowing Madrid a little bit too much time. The men in white are certainly dictating the pace of play. 20 minutes approaching, and Villarreal haven't really got going yet, with the exception of one or two brief forays into the Madrid final third. Not a lot more for their endeavours so far.
I do wonder if those 7 changes have disrupted a little bit of their rhythm. Impressive in the victory at Deportivo La Coruña last Saturday, albeit against opposition who'd already been relegated, but that clinched their 5th successive season of European qualification. It was a 4th win in their last 5 games. The exception, of course, was that 5-1 defeat last midweek at Barcelona. They've not been alone in that this season. 20 minutes in here, they trail at home to Real Madrid by a 1-0 on TalkSport 2. The TalkSport app, the best way to stay connected to your favourite sports radio stations. Downloading the TalkSport app allows you to listen live 24/7. Visit talksport.com/apps, or your provider's app store to download today. Villarreal back in possession with play back underway at Estadio de la Ceramica, or El Madrigal as it was known until just over a year ago. Traditional home of this football club. They haven't played their football anywhere else since their formation back in 1923. Real sense of history around the place. Full to capacity tonight, about 25,000. Which is half the total of the population actually of Villarreal on the East Coast. And their side advanced again here. Pablo Fornals working it wide right. Mario Gaspar will get there ahead of Marcelo. Just trying to block off his path to the penalty area. Back in field for Pablo Fornals again. Little flick. He might yet get on the end of it. That flick from Mario. Get there just ahead of Marcelo, the Brazilian left back for Real Madrid, who's got plenty of work to do just at the moment. A lot of the home attacks coming down that right hand side, the flank that he is patrolling defensively. Isco then leaving his foot in the middle as Nicolas Sansoni goes to ground, and that'll be a free kick.
Yeah, but it's good passage of play by Villarreal. It's the first time they've really kept possession for any length of time. Madrid were disciplined. They made them go all the way back to the halfway line and ended up drawing a foul. It's got to be offside, isn't he?
Yeah, flag up against Mario Gaspar. The fullback was the furthest forward there, but too far forward, clearly in an offside position.
Yeah, only about 4 or 5 yards, I think, wasn't he? He was just looking, only the eyes for the ball, no awareness of where the line was, and he just ventured too early. Easy decision for the referee's assistant to make.
A couple of goals he does have, the skipper. He spent his entire career at the club, over 200 appearances, scored against Las Palmas in October. Last goal came recently, earlier this month. The only goal in the victory against Valencia in that derby game for Mario. And with Bruno, the club captain, sidelined for the entirety of the season. Mario has been leading Villarreal. Marcelo playing it forward, and Mario right on cue is there to cut it out, to prevent it from reaching Gareth Bale, who was lurking just beyond him. As we reach the midway point of the first half, Villarreal 0, Real Madrid 1. On La Liga Live on TalkSport 2. Ronaldo working it wide. There's space here for Dani Carvajal. He's got plenty of time to set himself before slinging the cross in right-footed. just deflected up in the air, which took a bit of pace off the cross. He might get another go though. VillaReal here as it's returned to him by Isco. Goes infield with the ball off the outside of the right boot. Toni Kroos nudging it infield for Sergio Ramos. Now Marcelo, who will set himself and again deliver a deflected cross, this time in from the left hand side. Still work for VillaReal to do to get this one away. They're trying to play their way out of trouble. Roberto Soriano facing his own goal though. He's been pressurised high up the pitch, level really with the edge of his own penalty area by Dani Carvajal. He still has it. Soriano is in no need to let that go, and eventually assistance arrives from the assistant referee, who was right in line with that and flagging for the free kick.
That's a really good passage of play. I really enjoyed watching that passage of play. Soriano manipulating the ball with his right foot, keeping Dani Carvajal at arm's length, but Carvajal was patient, nibbling away his heels. There's nothing to do really there. I think the referee gave the free kick at the behest of the home support really, but a great passage of play. Good to see two players fairly competing for the ball.
Wonderful individual duel, wasn't it? Albeit not really the part of the pitch that Soriano would have been hoping to have that duel. He did manage to hold on to it and eventually wins the free kick, and here come Villarreal again. The yellow submarine surging forward. Pablo Fornals checking his options. Enazuna trying to get his shot away. It was blocked by Modric actually almost as soon as it left the right boot there of the Turkish striker. Still not yet away. Attempted cross from the right from Fornals is cut out by Casemiro. And goes for the throw on the far side of the field, almost level with the edge of the Real Madrid penalty area. Mario, the captain, is looking for options in taking the throw infield into the feet of Rodrigo Hernandez. Back they go to the halfway line. A little bit of possession again for the home side here. They have scored in each of their last 7 matches since defeat at Malaga at the first day of last month. Generally have been a goal threat recently. That one breaks down just in front of the Real Madrid penalty area, and Varane launches it long into space for Ronaldo to chase to keep it in play. Wide left, he gets there ahead of Mario. Dancing feet of Ronaldo into the penalty area, taking on the Villarreal captain, going to ground once and then twice, and rather hopefully looking up in the direction of referee Sanchez Martinez. No penalty is forthcoming.
No, I didn't think it was. I think the initial contact was what knocked him over, and he's not shy of going down, is he? Well, great play by Rafa Varane. There's a couple of times he's come out from the back and hit some raking diagonal passes. That was fantastic. This time with his right foot. There was a little bit of a nibble there by Mario Gaspar and Ronaldo. It wasn't there as he was going away from, but he's already on his way down prior to the contact. It would have been a very harsh decision. Right smile from Ronaldo, wasn't there?
Almost gone down once already, hadn't he? Then realised there was no contact at all, then he had time to get back to his feet again, and then went down again, maybe looking for that contact, which, judging by the replay we've just seen on our monitor, wasn't really there. I think got that one right. 26 minutes in, Villarreal 0, Real Madrid 1. Here come the outgoing champions again, Barcelona having taken their title this season. Madrid never really got close to keeping hold of their crown, but they're getting close to the Villarreal penalty area with this little passage of play. Isco trying to pick the pass through for Gareth Bale, getting it back again as those two look to prove they can play in the same side. No shortage of attacking options for Zinedine Zidane ahead of that Champions League final, given that he has Benzema, Lucas Vazquez and Marco Asensio all amongst the substitutes tonight as well, who've all played a part in getting Real Madrid to Kiev in that final. Toni Kroos playing it forward here to Gareth Bale, working it out wide left. Isco tried to return it to Bale, cut out by Mario, who was well positioned there to get the block in. Now with Adrian Marin coming infield from left back. Might get it back again here from Rodri. Goes back infield instead to the experienced Javi Fuego, who's been a bit part player really in the heart of the midfield. 34 years of age now, the former Espanyol man who only arrived of course in January. Played with Sporting Gijón and Levante, Rayo Vallecano and Valencia as well, during a much travelled but impressive career in the Spanish top flight. Maybe trying to showcase their own strength in depth in terms of the squad that Javi Calleja has at his disposal this season. Certainly strong enough to get them back into the Europa League next year. They negotiated the group stages, didn't they, this time around, only to fall at the first hurdle in the knockout stages of the competition. They were badly beaten over 2 legs by Olympique Lyonnais. They'll look to go again next year. Now the flag, I think, has gone up. against Cristiano Ronaldo, the assistant, as is the mandate these days. We're just waiting for the ball to fall at Ronaldo's feet before putting the flag up. It was just a heart-in-mouth moment for the VillaReal defence before then.
It was very late. I'm not quite sure the point in waiting that long to raise the flag, but now it's clearly offside, probably 2 or 3 yards. Why drag it out unnecessarily like that?
They survived the scare, mainly of the officials making their home defence. Dani Carvajal taking the ball from Luka Modric. Gets it back again here, Modric on that halfway line, looking for options. It's Isco working it wide left for Marcelo. Back in field to Isco again. And now Modric, they've worked a little bit of space just outside the penalty area, trying to play it forward first time for Gareth Bale, who applauds the intention. It's blocked away only as far as Dani Carvajal. Back in field to Rafa Varane. Now Sergio Ramos, both centre-backs positioned either on halfway or actually inside the VillaReal half. Home team centre-back Daniele Bonera with work to do under pressure from Isco. Clears it only straight to Marcelo, still the threat now. Casemiro to try and get his shot away. Ronaldo was calling for it in a little bit of space in the penalty area as well, so there was always going to be a verbal volley, I think, heading in Casemiro's direction when he flashed that one high and wide.
Yeah, he's not renowned for his goal-scoring capabilities, Casemiro, is he? And he had Luka Modric stood next to him in arguably a better position, and of course Ronaldo being Ronaldo would always moan if he's not given the ball. But you've seen it in the build-up there. Luka Modric, such an inventive, clever player. He took a touch, it looked like for all intents and purposes he was going to have a shot on goal. Instead he tried to thread a little cheeky ball through to Ronaldo, who applauded him instantly for the intent. Time and time again you see defenders dropping off when they think there's going to be a shot on target, and often if you've got a little bit of savvy you can pick a disguised pass, and Luka Modric can see that. It's incredible.
One of the players capable of doing just that, isn't he? As might this man Pablo Fornals. He's going to get the shot away instead, actually rasping left-footed effort from just outside the penalty area. Is only a fraction wide. It had Luka in goal in some trouble, concern as he dived down to his left, but had it covered, I think, and would have got there had it been heading for the bottom corner.
Yeah, it was a full stretch, wasn't he, the young goalkeeper? But it's good play by Fornals, actually, coming inside once again. He's had a couple of opportunities this evening. They're getting closer, VillaReal, growing in confidence ever so slightly.
Still very much in this game, aren't they? It was Fornals who got that famous winner, their first ever victory at the Bernabeu on the 13th of January earlier this season. Also scored against Celta Vigo and most recently Real Sociedad. Wasn't too far away on this occasion either. Half an hour in on TalkSport 2. It's VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 1 on La Liga Live. The final weekend of the La Liga season concludes tomorrow, where the current top two going into match week 38, champions Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, are both in action, but all backheeled by Nicola Sansoni. Infield from Javi Fuego. Adrian Marin trying to link up with the attack as well, but his ball intended for Sansoni, tight to the touchline, has just missed him and actually gone straight out of play for the throw-in. Side trying to work their way back after the early goal from Gareth Bale, which is the strike that separates them if you are just joining us 11 minutes in. Bale putting Real Madrid in front with a fine finish into the corner, and he has the ball in hand here as well on the right touchline. He's going to leave it though for his fullback Dani Carvajal to take this throw in. He will get it back from Isco. Looks to have been given pretty much licence to roam, Isco as well, doesn't he? He's not necessarily got a fixed spot in this formation. No,
Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo are the two most advanced players, and all the players in behind them have pretty much been given a licence to roam. You've got Casemiro and Modric now in advance of the ball. Isco's sitting and he joins in late.
Picking up the pass from Luka Modric right on cue, and then working it wide left where Marcelo's in a bit of space, brings it under control, delivers a wonderful ball in for Ronaldo, who rises highest unchallenged from the corner of the 6-yard box to double the Real Madrid lead. But what a brilliant ball in from Marcelo. Audacious cross with the outside of the left boot, and Cristiano Ronaldo is there to convert on his return from injury a week before the Champions League final. He scores his 26th La Liga goal of the season. It's VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 2.
Beautiful simplicity, isn't it? Great ball from Isco to the far side, and Marcelo, football just looks like so much fun for him, doesn't it? He just stabs an audacious outside of the foot cross to Cristiano Ronaldo, who springs on a standing jump. He just climbs so high, Ronaldo, and he's never going to miss from there, 6 yards from goal. It's a great team goal from Real Madrid. That's 2-0, and it looks like it could be an absolute rout on this form at the moment, because Madrid are so comfortable, and every time they go forward they're looking dangerous.
Two of the main men combining for that second goal. An important statement from Cristiano Ronaldo ahead of that Champions League final. Hasn't played since the 2-2 in El Clasico when he sprained his ankle. Missed a couple of games. There's no real panic, I don't think, behind the scenes that he wouldn't be fit for the final. But they certainly felt, Real Madrid, it was important for him to get this game under his belt. Even better for him now that he's got another goal under his belt as well. Typical Ronaldo goal, the way that he rose to meet that. And now all they will hope to make this the perfect evening for him and for Real Madrid is that he gets through the game without any recurrence of that injury.
Listen, I think if we get towards 60 minutes and Real Madrid are comfortable, he'll be withdrawn. But I just think, modern footballers, they're so well conditioned, and yes, there has to be rest, there has to be recuperation, but again, a competitive game 7 days prior to a huge international cup final, I don't think it's a bad thing these guys are getting a run out. I genuinely don't. It'll keep them fresh, especially if they come away with a good performance as they're showing that they're going to do this evening. That'll be fresh in their minds, and they'll go into the game on a high.
Luka Modric has given the ball away here. Javi Fuego playing the pass down that left-hand side for Sansone. His cross into the penalty area was cleared away. Real Madrid had just about got enough bodies back to deal with the danger. And Toni Kroos now plays it forward towards Ronaldo, taking on Bonero. He's just going to run out of room. Over on the far side is Ronaldo there. It will be a VillaReal throw, almost level with the edge of their own penalty area. But, their preparations for Kiev carefully planned out with this fixture in mind. They've got the day off tomorrow. They will train at home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They fly to Kiev on Thursday. They will train at the stadium, the Olympic Stadium in Kiev, where the final is being played. They'll do so on Friday. All the media responsibilities, the press conferences that day as well. And then a week from now, they'll be in the midst of the Champions League final against Liverpool, looking to win it for a third year in a row.
It's incredible, isn't it? Talking about how difficult it is to win the Champions League, how many great managers don't even get anywhere near close, and Zidane's looking at winning it for 3 times in a row. It's incredible.
I just think it's easy, this managerial life, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even if this year's La Liga campaign might have told him otherwise, certainly the Champions League, they are making it their own, which is remarkable. Club looking to win it for the 13th time in total, of course. There's Isco as we head towards the final 10 minutes of the first half on TalkSport 2. It's VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 2. Real Madrid in complete command, both in terms of the scoreline and the way that they're knocking the ball about with confidence and conviction here inside the VillaReal half. It then goes long, right on cue. It sails straight through to Andres Fernandez, who's not going to be troubled by that one.
It just seems like yesterday we were talking about La Decima and what an achievement that was, and now to be looking at that from that point onwards, really winning it in 3 consecutive seasons. Now, there was talk about Zidane being under pressure early in the year, especially with the poor start Madrid had in the first half of the campaign. But that's how you're judged, isn't it, as a team, as a great team, how you perform on the European stage. I think if you asked any manager in the top 6 teams in the Premier League, what would they prefer to win? Would they prefer to win the Premier League or would they prefer to win the Champions League? In terms of their stock rising, the Champions League's the one in this day and age, isn't it?
The global appeal, certainly. Here's Isco now for Real Madrid. Almost got it back from Gareth Bale. Important challenge from Javi Fuego in there, but has been given away to Cristiano Ronaldo. Support from Marcelo, who again will deliver the cross from the left-hand side. This time it's just too high for Ronaldo and for Bale in the middle, but Dani Carvajal to try and keep the danger alive on the Real Madrid right. Back in field to Toni Kroos and now Casemiro switching it wide left. This is Marcelo again, dinks it further down the line for Isco. In space just outside the penalty area. Delivers the cross again, looking for Ronaldo. It's cleared only as far as Luka Modric. Brings it under control. Gets his shot away, right-footed. It was heading, I think, underneath the crossbar. Looked like it brushed the fingertips of the goalkeeper, Andres Fernandez. That's certainly what Real Madrid are claiming here.
The referee's given a goal kick. I think they're adamant. Andres Fernandez got a touch of that Luka Modric shot. And it looks like it's brushed the tip of his fingertips of his glove. It's gone sailing over the bar. Anyway, much to do about nothing.
Ultimately academic, I guess. Unless something had come from the corner, he won't be able to claim the save after all, Andres Fernandez, because the goal kick was given 37 minutes in. Still the home side trail by those 2-0. Bale and Ronaldo in the first half for Real Madrid. Offside flag goes up against Enes Unal. He peeled away on that right hand side. Decent ball to try and find him, but just went a little too early.
Yeah, they're trying, aren't they? They're just He's lacking that little bit of quality that Real Madrid have in abundance, and you can see, the slow motion of Ronaldo jumping for that header, the leap he can get from a standing start is unbelievable.
Does that like no other player, really, doesn't he? The height he can generate. There's space again here for Real Madrid, for Isco this time to run into, surging into the penalty area, taking on Bernera, getting his shot away. Resping right-footed effort, did take a nick that time, on the way over the top.
Again, Madrid, they find so much space. VillaReal committed so many people forward, and Toni Kroos broke up the play, fed the ball into the left-hand channel for Isco, who showed a really good bit of pace to get into the 18-yard box. Ronaldo on the overlap, closed the space down a little bit, and in the end he was squeezed out, Isco, but got a shot away. It was blocked and over the bar, and Real Madrid have another corner.
And a second of the game, which Toni Kroos is waiting to take on this right-hand side. And it goes dangerously towards Ronaldo. Goalkeeper comes, punches off the head of Bale. It fell at the feet of Ronaldo. Didn't quite have the angle, though, as he swung his left boot at it. And well wide of the target on this occasion from Cristiano Ronaldo.
It's not great goalkeeping that from Andres Fernandez. He comes and he flaps at it. Lets his wrist, doesn't get any purchase on the punch. And it drops to Ronaldo on the angle. He just snaps at it a little bit with his left foot and drags it wide of the target.
Heading for the last 6 minutes of the first half here on TalkSport 2, where the live action continues. The IPL cricket on TalkSport 2 tomorrow morning from 11 o'clock as Delhi Daredevils take on Mumbai Indians. Then throughout the week the top four will be in action for the playoff rounds before the final next Sunday afternoon. All the live action right here. This is Cristiano Ronaldo taking possession for Real Madrid, coming forward down their right-hand side. Infield towards Luka Modric as they finish this first half very strongly. Heading for the final 5 of it, they're going in search of a third first-half goal. Isco, infield to Toni Kroos, the yellow submarine with pretty much everybody back behind the ball here. Kroos trying to advance, skips past a couple of challenges, gets his shot away as well there, right-footed, powerfully from the German from the edge of the area, and Andres Fernandez gets a glove on it to turn it over the top.
They need to regroup at the moment, but it's far too easy for Madrid, and Kroos just goes past 3 challenges and gets a shot away. It was a good save by Andres Fernandez. It was probably going to go over the bar from Toni Kroos, but no one got anywhere near him in that passage of play, did they? It was far too easy for the German international.
Here he is again taking the corner kick. It's another testing ball into the heart of the penalty area, which was met by VillaReal, but they've had a little bit of a mess in completing the clearance. Straight out of play from Adrian Marin at the expense of a throw. Kroos trying to get involved from distance. He and Casemiro both have 5 goals from midfield in La Liga so far this season. One final chance for them to extend that tally today. For Kroos, it is a career best since his move from Bayern 4 years ago, just after the last World Cup, of course. Will be a key figure again at the upcoming World Cup, as many of this Real Madrid side will be for their countries. And they've got a free kick here just inside the Villarreal half of the field. It's been exactly as they'd hoped it would be, I guess, so far. They've dominated. A couple of goals, look like they're on course to end the season with a victory, to atone for that surprise defeat at the Bernabeu, and not really been anything by way of crunching challenges or injury concerns or anything like that, because Villarreal maybe lack the intensity required.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It's been pretty routine for Real Madrid so far. Villarreal making it very easy for Real Madrid just to pass through them. Having said that, they've now broken up the play.
Yeah, they've got a bit of space here. Sansoni trying to slip it through for Pablo Fornals. He returns the cross, and Ozunal was the target. Rafa Varane well positioned, met it first though and heads it away from danger first time for Marcelo to try and bring this one clear. Now Isco on halfway. Has Gareth Bale ahead of him, making the run on the edge of the penalty area. Ronaldo taking over in support of Isco down that left-hand side though. Still Bale waits in the middle. It's with Ronaldo. Declines the opportunity to cross. Instead he plays it back down the line for Marcelo. Now Toni Kroos again. Isco on the corner of the penalty area, the Real Madrid left. Mario is the defender with him. Isco drifting back infield onto his right foot. He's got about 3 defenders surrounding him now. Casemiro didn't have a lot of time to turn either. He helps it on to Luka Modric, all very congested in the final third. Toni Kroos though has found Bale in a pocket of space. Wide right, delivers the cross with the outside of the left foot. It's headed out by Alvaro Gonzalez. Bale keeps it in for Isco inside the penalty area. No way through for Isco. Dani Carvajal trying to help him out. Rafa Varane will just get there first as well, ahead of Sansone. Varane still has it. Fast footwork required from the Frenchman. Now Kroos. VillaReal just can't get hold of the ball.
They cannot get hold of the ball. It's pinballing around inside their own final third at the moment, and Madrid are in complete control of this game.
Ideal outing thus far for Zinedine Zidane's men. It was they who had the now traditional end-of-season barbecue actually after their last game, which was the 6-0 win a week ago against Celta Vigo. Had that at the training ground earlier this week. Something they've done before each of the last 2 Champions League finals, so they saw no need to break with that tradition despite this fixture still to fulfil. And it does look as if it's VillaReal already on the holidays having the barbecues on the evidence of the first 43 minutes now.
Yeah, a distinct lack of intensity from VillaReal. I mean, again, they're up against a very good Real Madrid side, but haven't really put them under a great deal of pressure.
Toni Kroos to Luka Modric inside the centre circle. Good ball from left to right for Dani Carvajal, who brings it under control with his first touch, taking on Adrian Marin on the edge of the penalty area. Plays it across the edge of the box there for Modric, helped on by Isco for Dani Carvajal again. Isco had continued his run into the penalty area, but it was flicked away, helped further clear there by Nicolas Sansone. And now there's a chase on for Enes Ünal to pick up possession wide on the left, tight to the touchline. He will get there first as he takes on Sergio Ramos, who flung out a foot, made some sort of contact, and the ball eventually bounced away off Enes Ünal, and it's gone for the goal kick.
That's good defending by Sergio Ramos. He just bided his time. He went with the wrong foot initially there. Sergio Ramos, he's just stuck out a straight left leg, but he's got enough purchase on the ball to ricochet back off Enes Ünal and behind for a goal kick to Real Madrid.
Final minute of the first half on TalkSport 2. They have been in complete command, the European champions, as they will hope to remain in Kiev next week. No longer the Spanish champions, of course. Defeat as well in the quarter-finals of the Copa del Rey to Leganes on away goals. Exactly the same fate that VillaReal suffered in the previous round, actually, earlier this season. The big one in Kiev is the silverware still to be claimed, maybe, for Zidane's men. Going through the gears again here. Bale picking the pass for Dani Carvajal, but you probably heard the whistle in the background. Offside given against the fullback, who once again was the furthest forward.
He's not offside, is he?
Very close one there.
He looks dead level to me, but there we go. It's a tight decision, contentious, but just to say, what a game it's going to be in Kiev, by the way. I can't wait. Cannot wait. It's going to go one of 2 ways. I think Madrid will have the experience in the nous, and Liverpool might get a bit of stage fright. Well, Liverpool could cause a real upset.
So many attacking talent set to be on show. And nothing to add on at the end of the first half here. Right on 45 goes Jose Sanchez Martinez's whistle. And Real Madrid have had it all their own way, really, so far as they look to end the La Liga season on a winning note. Gareth Bale putting them in front with a fine finish with 11 minutes on the clock. And then just past the half hour, Cristiano Ronaldo, on his return from injury, ensured he also returned to the score sheet. 26th La Liga goal of the season made by Marcelo, and the 2-0 advantage really reflecting the superiority of the visitors so far. Half-time at Estadio de la Ceramica. It is VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 2. This is La Liga Live on TalkSport 2. Nothing obvious at the moment as they emerge out of the tunnel. Well, I don't think it'll be long, will it, in the second half before we do get some changes. But Zinedine Zidane, he's happy certainly with what he's seen so far. Probably give it around about an hour, do you think, before switching it up and maybe saving some of the star names for Kiev?
Yeah, I think an hour or another goal, whatever arrives soonest, essentially. It's been very easy for Real Madrid this evening thus far. No real pressure put on them by VillaReal, who seem to have checked out already pretty much. But yeah, take nothing away from Madrid. They've played well, they've been creative. Gareth Bale looks in fine fettle, doesn't he? Been a build up to the Champions League final, which is going to give Zidane a headache, no doubt, in terms of selection. But I think Real Madrid are very comfortable so far this evening.
Second half off and underway on TalkSport 2. VillaReal getting us restarted, all in the yellow from left to right as we look at it in this second period. Real Madrid also in their traditional all-white kit. There are no substitutions by either side at this juncture. I'll run you through the lineups in just a moment as VillaReal look to launch the first attack of the second period. Got a bit of space to do so down their right-hand side with Mario, who plays it in field. Toni Kroos trying to get a foot in. Mario getting it back again, or at least that was the intended target of the ball from Javi Fuego, but it has just sailed out of play on this near touchline and gone for the Real Madrid throw. So these are the lineups. Andres Fernandez back from injury, playing only his third game of the La Liga season on this final fixture for the Mario, Daniela Bonera, Alvaro Gonzalez and Adrian Marin of the back four for Villarreal. Rodri, Pablo Fornals and Javi Fuego the midfield three, Roberto Soriano and Nicolas Sansoni in support of Enazunal. And they have started the second half on the front foot. Mario staying forward is the one applying the pressure highest up the pitch on the Real Madrid defence inside their own penalty area before Casemiro clears it away. Dani Carvajal will just nod it back to his goalkeeper. Lucas Zidane making his La Liga debut, senior debut for Real Madrid, son of Zinedine, the 20-year-old keeper, in for Keylor Navas. He's the only notable big name, though, Navas, who's been rested for this one. Luka might have more work to do here as his captain Sergio Ramos plays the ball back to him. It's Carvajal, Ramos, Rafa Varane and Marcelo the back four. Toni Kroos, Casemiro and Luka Modric in midfield. Gareth Bale and Isco supporting Cristiano Ronaldo. Bale and Ronaldo with the goals so far. Almost 2 minutes into this second half. Down goes Modric on halfway over on the far side. The Real Madrid right. If they do, when they make changes, the options include Karim Benzema, Lucas Vazquez, Marco Asensio, Mateo Kovacic. They're probably the most obvious attacking outlets. Teo Hernandez and Nacho in defence are on the bench, along with Kiko Casilla, the reserve goalkeeper. Given that Keylor Navas has been rested, might be a little disappointed not to get a game. He has started 10 times in La Liga already this season. Luka might be required in the Real Madrid goal here, though, because the Yellow Submarine flying forward, Fornals with the ball in. Just missed Enazunal in the middle, but there is more intensity, there's more urgency from Villarreal at the start of this second half.
Yeah, there most certainly is, and they just won the ball back again.
Modric, who was dispossessed just in front of his own penalty area by Roberto Soriano, and in response there, Modric has flung out a leg, he's conceded the free kick, challenged from behind, and he's gone into the book as well.
Yeah, he just got caught in possession, which is very unlike Luka Modric, and his frustration just kicked out. He brought down Soriano on the edge of the box. He's got a yellow card for his troubles, and an opportunity early on in the second period for Villarreal to try and get a shot on target and test Lucas Zidane in goal.
It's a favourable position for them, just a few yards outside of the penalty area, just in from the left-hand side. 3 minutes into the second half as the Real Madrid defensive wall is assembled. Nicolas Sansoni, I think his fifth start of this season. He scored 5 goals this season in La Liga. He is the one standing over this, the Italian international. He's going to run up to the ball, strikes it right-footed up and over the wall, dipping, yeah, for good effort as well. But an equally fine save from Lucas Zidane in that Real Madrid goal on debut to preserve his team's 2-goal lead and his clean sheet.
That's a fantastic save by Lucas Zidane, isn't it? Great free kick by Sansoni, very Ronaldo-like in his technique. It's a great save by the young Madrid goalkeeper.
There's the corner, which wasn't quite as threatening from the Villarreal left-hand side. It was well cleared away, and then Dani Carvajal trying to bring it further clear before Isco takes over, and he has Ronaldo making the run through the middle, hoists it high towards Cristiano Ronaldo. Goalkeeper comes got there in the edge just ahead of Ronaldo, as he had to do. Andres Fernandez took a gamble, but it paid off.
This is a crazy goalkeeper. I mean, if he gets that wrong, he's taking Isco out neck high, or Toni Kroos out neck high there, isn't he?
We're going to put the ball out of play, actually, because Javi Fuego is down over on the far side. Villarreal had won the ball back after that passage of play and come away with it. There was some concern for Javi Fuego, just a collision with Dani Carvajal off the ball prior to that. Went down clutching his right knee by the looks of things.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's done there. Maybe a clash of knees perhaps. We're seeing a replay of the Sansoni free kick and the Lucas Zidane save. The ball done its job well. And it's good positioning by the young goalkeeper. Gets 2 strong hands to it and flips it up and over the crossbar. Again, that will do his confidence the world of good, won't it?
Certainly will. First significant moment of the match for him on debut. And he turned it over the top to deny Sansoni, who did score in the 5-1 defeat at Barcelona a couple of games ago. The €13 million signing from Sassuolo. 3 caps for Italy since his debut 3 years ago. There is still a little delay here because of the injury to Javi Fuego already. The Real Madrid substitutes being put through their paces on the touchline. Benzema will hope to get involved at some stage. Lucas Vazquez and Marco Asensio are familiar figures off the bench. All of the VillaReal players also being put through their paces, including Denis Charisov, who would have been disappointed, I'm sure, not to start against his former club. The Russian international came through the ranks at Real Madrid and has been in the starting lineup recently. He's an option for Javi Calleja in the latter stages. 6 minutes into the second half, VillaReal advance the game, working it well down the left-hand side. Dani Carvajal stood his ground on the edge of the penalty area just to nick that away. It's as far forward as we've seen Adrian Marin really from left back, which reflects the greater attacking intent of the home side after the interval.
Yeah, they showed more intent in this first 6 minutes of the second period than they did in the first 45. They must have got a bit of a rocket at half time from the manager. They've certainly come out all guns blazing.
I have the corner here, which wasn't a particularly good one. Enasuna trying to make something of it, but this time Dani Carvajal is able to shepherd the ball out of play for the goal kick. It was only their second corner, and the delivery needed to be better, really.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? Very flat. Didn't beat the first line of defenders. Always disappointing when that happens from a set play.
Well, Marcelo's been dispossessed just outside the area here by Mario, who has support from Pablo Fornals. Marcelo trying to get back to him and undo some of the earlier damage there, and he's managed to do that. He offers the hand of apology to his teammates now, but he did just get back goal side in front of Pablo Fornals to shepherd it out.
That's great to see, isn't it? When you can suffer people making mistakes if they then atone for their error, and he's done exactly that, Marcelo. He gave the ball away, he didn't stand and soak, he got back in, got goal side, and one possession back for his side. That's really good play by Marcelo.
He's having quite an impressive night. The first choice left back, including that wonderful assist for Cristiano Ronaldo's goal. And here come VillaReal again, with space to attack through Sansoni down that left-hand side. Soriano had continued his run into the penalty area as well, but Lucas Zidane had read the danger. He was quickly off his line, and therefore a firm favourite to get there first.
Good starting position by the goalkeeper. Slightly overhit the through ball from VillaReal. Lucas Zidane again, he just came off his line, being very assured.
There's Dani Carvajal. We've played almost 8 minutes of the second half on TalkSport 2. It's VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 2 on La Liga Live. Real Madrid would go second at least until tomorrow, and Atleti would still need a point from their final fixture of the season to finish in second place. Local pride at stake really in the capital as much as anything. Both will go through to the group stages of next season's Champions League, which Real Madrid will hope to win this season's Champions League, of course, first. The ball is spread wide left. It's a good one by Alvaro Gonzalez. Now with Sansone. A little touch for Rodri. And then the effort from range wasn't quite as threatening from Rodrigo Hernandez to give him his full title, always clearing the crossbar.
Yeah, that was speculative at best. 35 yards out, always rising, never in danger of testing Lucas Zidane in the Real Madrid goal.
Here's Sergio Ramos twisting and turning level with the edge of his own penalty area, so they try and bring the ball out from the back, as both teams like to do. In that sense, it's not much of a dress rehearsal for next week's Champions League final, said Zinedine Zidane, because he expects Liverpool to adopt a very different approach. There's Isco, strong run from him, and then couldn't quite find the angle with a shot. He was taking on the back-pedalling Adrian Marin, but it flashed harmlessly high and wide in the end.
I hope it wasn't a shot from Isco, because that's audacious on the angle. Surely his better bet was to try and feed that into the box where he had Ronaldo and Gareth Bale waiting. Maybe just the pace he was running, I couldn't wrap his foot around it.
Either way, it was either a very poor shot or an even worse cross, maybe. You don't say that too often of Isco, who's on the ball again with his back to goal. Teeing up Varane, and now Luka Modric forward towards Gareth Bale. Wants to sidestep the challenge of Rodrigo. And Sergio Ramos, so important, the skipper at the heart of the defence. He's charged forward, having played the ball to Marcelo, who's looking to get on the end of the return. I think that was Marcelo's intention, but it's actually held straight out of play for the goal kick in the end. And Real Madrid haven't really hit their stride yet since the restart. They had it all their own way in the first half, didn't they?
No, they haven't got going yet, and I think that's in no small part down to the fact that VillaReal are trying. There was a distinct lack of intensity from the men in yellow in the first period, but No such lacks in the second so far, and they haven't allowed Madrid to get into their stride.
10 minutes into the second half, there is a bit of activity on the benches, but it looks like VillaReal who are actually getting ready to make the first substitution of the game. And judging by what we're seeing on the bench, it would be an interesting one. Salam Al-Dassari of Saudi Arabia is looking like he's about to come on for his La Liga debut. He joined on loan from Al Hilal back in his home country. Hasn't even made a matchday squad before until this final day today. He is expected to go to the World Cup with Saudi Arabia. He actually scored for them in a friendly they played against Greece only on Tuesday, outside of the international calendar. But back with his club for this one final fixture this season. Looks like he could be with us very shortly. Ball is played in the meantime into the path of Pablo Fornals on the halfway line. Mario's made the run forward down the right. Sergio Ramos just about had enough of a head start as he came across covering from centre back to try and get there first. He certainly got his body in front of Mario and the ball in between the two.
It's a clever play, isn't it, by Sergio Ramos? He just got there, slowed up, put the brakes on, invited the contact from Mario Gaspar. Down he went.
Wins the free kick, which he takes himself in towards Marcelo. He in turn is going to get a free kick. He was also caught by Mario. It will probably give VillaReal the chance to make this change. Javier Gueye had to make the first substitution of the game. And it is indeed going to be the Saudi Arabian international Salam El-Dassari, who is coming on for a La Liga debut in place of Javi Fuego in the midfield. He'll probably take up a similar position in that midfield, but you would imagine he will bring very different attributes to the role. Certainly much less experience, but what a stage against the European champions for him to come on and try and express himself with just over half an hour to play.
Yeah, it's fantastic for the young man, isn't it? Playing on this stage in the build-up to the World Cup in the summer as well. Opportunity to stake a claim and make a name for yourself.
Very much so. Here's Enes Unal on the halfway line, trying to work it wide left, infield towards Rodrigo again. Now Adrian Marin, who's relishing his first team exposure. The 21-year-old, he's been with the club academy since he was 12. There's Adrian Marin, the left back, Spanish under-21 international. Ball is played infield to Roberto Soriano inside the centre circle. And now Rodrigo again. A little further forward, Pablo Fornals getting there just ahead of Toni Kroos. Enes Unal made the run for him. Ramos had read the danger, trying to get back. And there is a free kick in there conceded by Sergio Ramos, despite the appeals towards referee Jose Sanchez Martinez. It's a little further out than the one we saw struck by Sansoni, but still in threatening territory.
It is indeed. It's a bit unlucky there, Sergio Ramos, just a ricochet off his thigh to hit his outstretched hand. Referee's given a free kick against Real Madrid captain. We saw what happened last time with Sansone. It looks like it's going to be Enes Unal taking this one, as you rightly say, much further out, maybe 25-30 yards.
So he could well go for the power of Enes Unal here. He was involved in the conversation with Sansoni. The Italian's now walking away, and we'll leave it for Unal. Takes a couple of strides, strikes it powerfully right footed, just wide though of the goalkeeper's right hand post. Luka didn't appear too concerned by that one. He did generate power with it, and it wasn't far wide actually.
I tell you what, he was unduly concerned because he had no idea how close that was to the upright. It was a great technique, wasn't it? Just casually stroked that ball towards the upright, and it dipped and it swerved, and it narrowly missed the angle of post and crossbar, but no more than 2 or 3 inches.
Pretty much as close as they have come to getting back in this game as we head for the hour mark. Still VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 2 on TalkSport 2. Enes Unal going close there, the man signed from Manchester City. I think do have a buyback clause in that deal that was done last summer. He impressed last season in the Eredivisie, 18 goals for FC Twente in a struggling side. Cristiano Ronaldo will apply the pressure all the way back to Andres Fernandez, closing down the goalkeeper inside his own 6-yard box there, as he tried to clear it away out towards the VillaReal left. Didn't reach touch with it, kept in play by Adrian Marin. And now the yellow submarine will come away with this in the midfield. Touched into space for Mario. Isco trying to get back to him as Mario Gaspar, the captain, checks back. Finds Rodrigo again inside the centre circle. He's looking to link with Pablo Fornals. Mario offering him the option wide right, seeing much more of the ball in the second half. VillaReal. Soriano playing it forward, and here's Salem involved for the first time. The Saudi Arabian substitute on his big night. Into the path of Adrian Marin to deliver a high, deep cross. Ederson challenging Lucas Zidane. Didn't really get too much on it, but does come away with the ball in the end.
It was a bit of a mismatch, wasn't it? He's not the tallest goalkeeper in the world, Lucas Zidane. He goes up early, and Ederson now goes up with him. Coming together, no more than a fair challenge. The goalkeeper comes out on top in the end. I see what Salam's getting a fantastic reception every time he touches the ball, isn't he? He's looked bright since he's come on. Everything he's done positively. The crowd really have taken to him.
There's a real desire in these parts for him to make an impression tonight. 30 caps for Saudi Arabia, 4 goals for his country. As I say, he's in their provisional World Cup squad. Is yet to be trimmed back to 23, but he's expected to go to Russia, having scored in that friendly on Tuesday against Greece. Over a century of games for Al Hilal over the last 7 years under his belt. I mean, he is 26 years of age. He's not necessarily a youngster trying to make his name in the game, but he is trying to make his name in La Liga. Now, we just passed the hour mark, and here come a raft of changes by the looks of things from Zinedine Zidane. Karim Benzema first on. No great surprise maybe on his return from injury. It is Cristiano Ronaldo making way. He's got an hour under his belt. He's got his goal. He will be wrapped up safely ahead of the trip to Kiev, but it's not the only change, because Luka Modric is also being withdrawn here, and Lucas Vazquez will be his replacement from the bench. I think that's probably always part of the plan.
Absolutely, yeah, there's no surprise. The hour mark is usually the magical witching hour, isn't it, where managers start to look to make changes, especially with the game looming next weekend. Ronaldo's got nothing more to prove. He's come through unscathed, he's got his goal. He'll be fit and firing, no doubt, in the Ukraine next weekend. Luka Modric has played so much football this season. He'll be kept back a little bit to make sure he's fresh.
Bit of a breather for the remainder of this contest for the Croatian as well. Benzema straight into the action here as he goes down under the challenge of Adrian Marin. Just inside the VillaReal half there to win the free kick for the visitors. Ronaldo immediately taking his seat on the bench to watch the remainder of the contest. 63 minutes in at Estadio de la Ceramica. Good ball here for Real Madrid. They'll try and keep the danger alive. Benzema almost involved straight away there. He was the target for the cross, only partially cleared as far as Dani Carvajal. Well, as the two substitutes linking up, Carvajal's effort whistling well wide of the target in the end, but Lucas Vazquez was in space wide on that right, and he had Benzema to try and pick out in the middle.
Yeah, he almost did as well, didn't he? A similar passage of play to what with Gareth Bale in the first half. Benzema was just underneath that ball. He couldn't back off and give himself enough space to attack it properly. It's the first real attack of any note we've seen from Real Madrid in this second period. It shows how much better VillaReal have played.
A noticeable increase in intensity as there had to be from the home side. They owe the home fans that much, really. And as the ball is guided back here by Rafa Varane to his goalkeeper, the sense perhaps of a missed opportunity for VillaReal in that first half. You could understand it. They got the result they needed at Deportivo La Coruña last weekend to clinch European qualification. Whatever happens here, they're going to finish 5th in La Liga. Fine achievement for a club of these resources anyway. But they'd never done the double over Real Madrid. They'd already won for the first time ever at the Bernabeu earlier this season. This a week out from a Champions League final, which is bound to affect the preparation to an extent of Real Madrid. Surely this was their chance to try and see out the season with that historic double. And although they are giving it a go now, you do wonder if they've left it a bit too late. They are pressing forward again with the substitute trying to get involved, Salem, on the edge of the penalty area. It didn't quite open up for him, and an impotent little flick by Bale has opened up space for Toni Kroos to get Real Madrid moving forward again. Kroos with plenty of options, 3 ahead of him, still going, plays it into the path of Bale. Bale delivers the cross, flag up as Benzema's effort is saved anyway by Andres Fernandez. It wouldn't have counted, but it was a length of the field counter-attack.
Yeah, bright counter-attack. Good play by Isco, coming back doing defensive duties. Lucas Vazquez picks it up, great flick by Gareth Bale, sets Toni Kroos away. The only downside in that attack was that Vazquez and Gareth Bale almost made the same run initially, and Gareth Bale had to put the brakes on and just strayed offside. It was a good decision by the referee's assistant, and Karim Benzema should have finished that regardless, but it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah, flag up against Bale was the earlier one.
Yeah,
as he tried to provide the cross there for Benzema. Andres Fernandez doing his job anyway, making the save to make sure. But Benzema, I think, knew by that point it wasn't going to count. We're 20 minutes into the second half. On the east coast of Spain, VillaReal 0, Real Madrid 2 in this final fixture for both of them in the La Liga season. VillaReal will finish it 5th, as we say. Real Madrid heading for 2nd spot at least until tomorrow. Atleti would need that point against Eibar to ensure they finish ahead of their neighbours, a point you would certainly expect them to get at the very least. They wonder if there might be a bit of a hangover from the Europa League success. One major European trophy has arrived in Madrid already. Real Madrid will hope to bring the other one, the biggest one of the lot, back to the Spanish capital as well next weekend. Strong play from Roberto Soriano here. It started inside his own half. He's covered good ground midway inside the Real Madrid half now before Pablo Fornals delivers the sweeping right-footed cross from the right. Cleared only as far as Soriano again. Now Salem. Soriano switching it to that left-hand side. Adrian Marin was into the path of Sansoni, who's done really well. Edison, no anti-goals, and Sergio Ramos is there on the line, perfectly positioned to keep it out, because Edison must have thought he was about to pull one back.
It was great play, wasn't it? Fantastic skill by Sansoni on the touchline. A double drag back to take himself away from the attentions of Lucas Vazquez. Lucas Zidane comes running out of his goal. It's just clipped over him. I was trying to see that it wasn't the line that cleared it in the end. Back into the grateful arms of the goalkeeper. It was Sergio Ramos, the Madrid captain. Great skill by Sansoni,
Brilliant, wasn't it, in the build-up? Wonderful feat in a very tight situation, and to follow that up by getting to it ahead of the goalkeeper to tee it up for Enes Unal as well. But Sergio Ramos doing his job to deny them the opportunity, and it's going to be actually the last contribution from Enes Unal. He won't be able to add to his 5 goals this season on what was his 11th La Liga start of the campaign, because it ends here midway through this second half, and Roger Martinez, the Colombian, he's on loan from Jiangsu Suning in the Chinese Super League, is off the bench for only the 6th time since his move. He's started just a couple of games, loan deal which they do have the option to make permanent. He's still waiting for his first goal since signing, and he will get the closing quarter of the closing game of the season to try and get it. He's immediately on the ball trying to force their way through the middle of the Real Madrid defence.
He talked about the mentality of the VillaReal players coming into this game and what's at stake, and no team would ever deliberately go out and not try and perform, but often when you've had quite an intense campaign where you've been focused on results, and invariably you've got an internal goal to try and achieve. Once you've achieved that, it's quite difficult to keep that level of intensity, especially when your fate is already sealed going into the last game. So it's understandable there was a little bit of lackadaisical elements to VillaReal's play in the first period, but professional pride's now kicked in. You can see they've upped the intensity in the second period, and they've looked a completely different side.
Maybe subconsciously affecting them, wasn't it, in the first half, but they are much more of a threat now, almost opening up Real Madrid again. It was a good ball teased through by Soriano towards the run of Pablo Fornals, the goal scorer in the Bernabeu in that famous victory we've alluded to earlier in the season, but this time Lucas Zidane was able to come and gather it up nearly but not quite in the final third for Villarreal in the second half.
Yeah, exactly. It's just lacking a little bit of quality in the final third. That's the only thing that stopped them from getting at least one goal back. But Soriano's been really impressive for me this evening. He's been at the heart of everything VillaReal have done well.
Really stepped up in the second half as well, the former Sampdoria man. Hasn't scored actually this season, but he's been one of the creators in chief so far tonight. 8 times capped Italian international. He paid a reported €14 million to Sampdoria for him a couple of years ago. Again, options for Villarreal. Wrong one pick though, as it sails all the way through to the untroubled Lucas Zidane.
Sansoni attempting to try and catch Lucas Zidane off his line from all of 75 yards.
Didn't really get any height on the ball after all that, did he? He's on the ball again here, and then just caught just in from the touchline by Marcelo. It will be a Villarreal free kick. We're in for the last 20 minutes now. If they are to set up a grandstand finish, give themselves a chance of getting something out of the game, they're going to have to score very shortly, you would have thought. There's that man Soriano again though, who's the one that drew the foul from Marcelo. They take the free kick pretty quickly. Alvaro Gonzalez, regular centre-back this season, working it wide left for Adrian Marin. The other regular centre-back, Victor Ruiz, one of the regulars, dropped down to the bench for this one. Pablo Fornals looking to go through the middle. Tony Kroos cuts out the most immediate, most obvious route to goal. It's a good ball wide left though, and might open up for the shot here. Does! Oh, brilliant effort! Flashing shooting across goal. It's an instant impact from Roger Martinez, who's only just come off the bench a couple of moments ago. That is some way to open his account for VillaReal. Powerful right-footed shot flashed across Lucas Hidden, in at the far post, and VillaReal right back in this game with 20 minutes to go. VillaReal 1, Real Madrid 2.
What an amazingly good goal that is from VillaReal. From the way they passed the ball and moved it around, the space created, and that finish from Roger Martinez is absolutely stunning. Straight to the top right-hand corner. Lucas Hidden, absolutely no chance. It's flashed through a few Real Madrid defensive bodies. But 4 or 5 passes in quick succession. Roger Martinez, great first touch, cuts inside Rafael Varane and unleashes a spectacular finish. There's no more than Villarreal have deserved in this second period. They've been the better side, and they've given themselves a faint hope of getting a famous point, if not more.
They will argue on the balance of play in this second half that they've deserved that. Maybe it's taken something special though, hasn't it, to find a way through?
Absolutely, and what a special goal it was. I mean, tremendous team effort, finished off in such spectacular fashion.
If they are still in any doubt whether they'll make that loan deal from Jiansu Suning permanent, that won't have done his chances any harm of making his stay in Spain a more permanent one in the summer, will it?
Well, it's something they've got a bit of negotiating to do, isn't it, Villarreal, with Carlos Bacca and Roger Martinez? A bit of 2-for-1 action, perhaps.
I'll be hoping so, maybe. Certainly the fans will on this evidence. Here come Real Madrid at the other end, looking to try and restore their 2-goal cushion. Marcelo in field towards the darting run of Lucas Vazquez, trying to make his presence felt in the penalty area as well. Clearances by Mario, out of play for the throw down by the corner flag, and Marcelo waiting to take it. I think before he does that though, there's going to be another change. It will be a third and final substitution from the European champions here. Mateo Kovacic, the Croatian international, is going to come on in a moment, but he does so with this game right back in the balance, courtesy of that stunning strike from Roger Martinez. And Villarreal will fancy their chances now, won't they, getting something here?
They will do. They have been the better side in the second period. They've just upped the intensity levels. But you look at the substitution now, Isco departing 72 minutes and Kovacic coming in. Is there anything to read into, do you think, going into the Champions League final next weekend with Gareth Bale still playing?
Possibly. It's one of those, isn't it, that it's going to be such a close selection call that everybody is looking for clues without being sure maybe whether they are clues or not. Bale in such good form, given the chance to play the full 90 minutes here. Didn't quite come down. His ball in from the left for Karim Benzema. Wasn't able to get his shot away. It's cleared towards halfway. Dani Carvajal ends up in a heap as the challenge for that with Nicolas Sansone. And he's going to get the free kick.
He's just mistimed his first jump, Dani Carvajal, and in desperation trying to get back in, he's just leant on the back of Adrian Marin, and he's gone toppling over.
He just went flying over the top of him, didn't he?
Landed on his side, thankfully, so no neck damage, no back damage, just a bit of wind knocked out of him.
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been significantly worse, you're absolutely right.
Well, they're trying to prove his fitness ahead of next week. Dani Carvajal missed the last handful of games because of a hamstring injury. He will be asked to get through the 90 minutes as well, as Benzema is played into the penalty area. Benzema gets his shot away, right-footed from the right-hand side. But Andres Fernandez well positioned to get down and make, in the end, what was a fairly comfortable save.
It was good movement though by Karim Benzema. He does that so often, doesn't he? Times his runs to perfection, just gets in between defenders. But again, there's a few people auditioning this evening now for being involved in the Champions League final. Lucas Vazquez, Kovacic, Karim Benzema. You know, his starting berth can't be assured, especially with the emergence in the form of Isco and Gareth Bale.
Given that this goalkeeper side looked to be the strongest side available to Zinedine Zidane, and I felt that Benzema began it on the bench, might have him sweating on his place next week. Now it's a good ball in by Mario. Roger Martinez almost in again here, looking to level it up across to make the challenge, and it was an important challenge as well. There was Casemiro, because there could have been 2-2, but for the Brazilians' intervention.
Great tackle by Casemiro, but he's hurt his knee in the process as well. He's stayed down, and I'm hoping that's no more than an impact injury.
This is the concern now, isn't it, for Real Madrid? Liverpool supporters listening to us, their ears will prick up when anybody goes down in a white shirt. Casemiro looks, I think he's going to be okay. He's held back to his feet. He's not moving particularly freely, but no prolonged period of treatment is required. He doesn't always hug the headlines, does he? But he's so important in making the team tick.
In the context of how effective Real Madrid can be countering Liverpool's attacking threat, he is vitally important. Some of the last-ditch tackles he makes, the way he reads the game, his discipline. You can see when a centre-back gets pulled out of the middle, he's the first person to fill the gap. You know, he's very intelligent, his positional sense is great, and he'd be a huge loss for Real Madrid if he wasn't to make the final, but thankfully he's back on his feet and moving pretty freely.
Yeah, it looks to be okay after that. Casemiro back on the balls, a little touch in there as well from Kovacic. Sliding challenge comes in from the left back Adrian Marin. As we go into the final 15 minutes here, changes keep on coming. Real Madrid have made all three of theirs already, and now we're going to see Javier Gaya act as well. So he makes another switch for this last quarter of an hour. It's going to be Pablo Fornals coming off. Been heavily involved throughout. One of the regulars replacing him though, Samu Castillejo. He's got 5 goals from midfield. One of the 7 changes, as he was given a breather on the bench. He is on for that's 14 minutes plus added time.
Yeah, ring the changes now. VillaReal. Again, I've been much more impressed with them in the second period. That's the VillaReal I'm used to seeing. Far more intent, more dynamic going forward.
There's some defending to do here. Marcelo infield to Toni Kroos. Twisting and turning is Lucas Vazquez. Casemiro linked it over the top where he was looking to locate the run of Gareth Bale, but it was brought away impressively enough by Soriano. The final change, by the way, the introduction of Castillejo. 6 substitutions now made. Going into the closing stages. Here comes Adrian Marin down the left-hand side for Villarreal. Roger Martinez ahead of him. Gets it now, Martinez taking on Rafa Varane. Backpedaling into his own penalty area. Martinez looking to take the shot away. He scored from very similar range already. It's blocked away into the path of Rodrigo, wide on the left-hand side. He too now is into the penalty area, taking on Carvajal. He couldn't prevent the cross from coming in. Nobody advanced enough to actually get on the end of it, though. It's the substitute Castillejo who is the closest to doing that, and he keeps the ball in play for Villarreal on their right-hand side. Going shoulder to shoulder with Karim Benzema as he cut infield, then going down looking for the free kick, which wasn't given by referee Sanchez Martinez, and instead Real Madrid can counter. Gareth Bale has it in space on the right-hand side. Benzema ahead of him. Lucas Vazquez in all sorts of space as well on the edge of the penalty area. He was the target for Bale. He couldn't bring the ball down though. The referee has pulled it back here to book Alvaro Gonzalez for an earlier challenge, I think, in the build-up.
Yeah, it was on Toni Kroos. There was a bit of afters as Toni Kroos played that ball wide. Alvaro just body checked him. It was the right decision by the referee. The Real Madrid just got a bit ragged, haven't they? Both defensively and in possession.
So comfortable for so long, weren't they, in the first half? I think for Castillejo actually, who'd only just come on. He's into the book as well. As Villarreal have this throw with 12 minutes of the 90 to play. They trail Real Madrid on TalkSport 2 by 2-1. Little flick by Benzema looking for Kovacic. Villarreal were to go on and get an equaliser here and take even a point from this one, it would end Real Madrid's chances of finishing second in La Liga. The pressure would be off for Atleti tomorrow. Don't forget there is lots more live sport coming up tomorrow on TalkSport 2 at 11 a.m. IPL cricket, Delhi Daredevils taking on Mumbai Indians. Then at 4:15 it's the FA Trophy final between Brackley and Bromley from Wembley Stadium, followed by Fernando Torres' final game for Atletico. And we round off with Barcelona against Real Sociedad. Andres Iniesta bids farewell to Barca. Here's Lucas Vazquez, fast feet inside the penalty area, goes down inside the box under a robust challenge there. The referee, in fairness to Jose Sanchez Martinez, was very well positioned. He's waved play on. They've still got work to do through Ponera to get it back to the goalkeeper and away from Andres Fernandez. A few nervy little moments there for Villarreal in their own box.
It's just spiced up a little bit, hasn't it? So Lucas Vazquez not happy about not being awarded a penalty. Marcelo's head's gone after a challenge about 2 or 3 minutes ago where he had to jump out the way. His arms are getting flailed around now. He's challenging every decision with the referee's assistant. He just left a little bit on Castillejo.
There is more of an edge to proceedings now. I think given that, Zinedine Zidane will probably want the whistle.
Yeah, exactly right. Doesn't need any ill discipline. I'll tell you what though, Phil, I mean, I'm not sure what the thoughts would be on Zidane if Real Madrid do not win the Champions League final and finish third domestically. How would that be viewed by the hierarchy?
Well, yeah. In no way, by Real Madrid standards, would that constitute a successful season, would it? Particularly given the margin that they trail Barcelona as well. It really will be defined, I think, their season by the result against Liverpool, won't it? As we see an offside decision go against Roger Martinez here. So much at stake in Kiev a week tonight for Real Madrid. Because if they can get that third successive Champions League trophy, then any argument goes out the window. It has been a successful season.
Absolutely.
Very small margins.
Absolutely, I know it's incredible how fickle football can be at times, but I'm sure Zidane's stock is high enough for him to be afforded another season perhaps, but you never know the hierarchy around Madrid.
Certainly not at Real Madrid. There were those reports of disagreements with Florentino Perez earlier in the season. His job was under threat earlier in the season. It wasn't just in La Liga where they were struggling. They actually, of course, didn't win their group in the Champions League, did they? They were beaten at Wembley by Tottenham by 3-1 and finished second to Spurs actually in the group. But they've come good when it matters most in that competition. And indeed, they've actually bettered Barcelona over the second half of the La Liga season. Before tonight, they've taken 40 points in the second half of the campaign, one more than Barca, 4 more than Atleti. They took, this is where the problem lies, just 32 points from the first 19 games of the La Liga season.
Damage is done, unfortunately, wasn't it, from Madrid's perspective. But it's funny how teams such as Madrid, with the same formula that was so successful last year, just couldn't get going. And real challenges for managers, isn't it, when you look at it and go, well, how on earth can I not get the same group of players to perform the way they performed last season? That's where Mourinho fell foul of Chelsea, isn't it? Sometimes players need a fresh perspective, but Zidane's obviously experienced enough, and he's turned things around the second part of the season. Yes, and again, if they win the Champions League, then it's business as usual, isn't it?
Certainly showing their strength in the second half of the campaign. And Carvajal showing his energy, his desire to get there to pull the ball back from the byline. Importantly as well, showing there's no problem with his hamstring, given the way he was sprinting after that in the 83rd minute of the match. That bodes well for his inclusion, the first choice right back next weekend. Hakimi had been deputising. Nacho played out of position a little bit at right back as well during his absence. Doing the better side with Carvajal in it. Here's the VillaReal right back trying to get away from Casemiro, and his valiant attempts to do so on the touchline. He actually ran into the assistant referee there.
It was a rugby tackle by Casemiro, wasn't it? That was a case of you are not going past me by any way, shape or form, and I'm pretty sure that's resulted in a yellow card.
Yellow card has come out. Not too surprisingly.
Cynical at best, wasn't it? It's been more fiercely contested in the last 10 minutes, but there's been no real animosity. All the players have been very friendly, handshakes and pats on backs, etc. But I'm sure Real Madrid will be desperate to cling on to this narrow margin.
It has been played in a decent spirit, certainly on this final day for both of them. The La Liga season. VillaReal can head for their holidays after this, with Europa League football to look forward to again next season. For Real Madrid, the serious business only just getting started this week in the final week of the campaign. Reminder, they fly to Kiev on Thursday to really step up those preparations for the big one with Liverpool. Here is Castillejo. He keeps it in play and plays it back down the line, actually on the halfway line, where Daniele Bonera, the vastly experienced Italian centre-back, looks like he'd probably stay for another season, is the word from Estadio della Ceramica, to provide further cover in the heart of their defence. He's a real fans' favourite here. Cleared that one away. Lucas Vazquez unable to take advantage on the far side, where it will go for the VillaReal throw, heading for the final 5 minutes of the 90. What have VillaReal got left now? One last big push required this season. A flag here, I think, has stayed down, and it's going to be the equalising goal from Castillejo. The goalkeeper, Lucas Zidane, had come a long way off his line, didn't get there, and And the keeper who's impressed throughout his debut with a nightmare moment towards the end of it. And it's the second VillaReal substitute to step off the bench to score. The home side back from 2 behind here to level it up. 2-2 with 5 minutes to go.
Oh, Marcelo's sleeping. He's still muttering away to himself about a decision that's gone wrong, and poor Lucas Zidane was completely exposed there. He's got a bloody nose for his troubles. He didn't know whether to stay at home or come. He came, he made the decision, he didn't quite get there. It's a really composed finish by Castillejo, but Marcelo was absolutely sleeping. He's berating the referee, the system once again, not even looking at the play. By the time he's turned around and realised what's happening, he stepped up far too late. Real Madrid have let a 2-goal lead slip.
Punished ruthlessly, clinically by Samu Castillejo. His 6th La Liga goal of the season, following Roger Martinez in stepping off that subs bench to score. He did his bit, and Lucas Zidane, well, it was an unenviable position he was left in really by Marcelo, as you say, wasn't it? He made the decision to come racing out, and was always, I guess, a second favourite, perhaps though, in whatever he chosen to do there.
Well, exactly. He made the decision at least, but you know, the blame for me falls squarely on the shoulders of Marcelo. He was, again, wasn't concentrating at all. Look, he's looking over his left shoulder at the linesman before the ball is played. By the time he turns around and realises where Castillejo is, he's gone. He's in on goal. Zidane's marooned in no man's land, really, isn't he?
Did he do having made the decision to come and try and get there, did he then do enough though, the goalkeeper? There was no sort of intent to the challenge, was there, as such?
I mean, you could argue that he should have maybe cleaned house, taken everything, but then you run the risk of giving away a penalty. He's a young man. He's going to be judged by the decisions he makes, and you know, I don't really apportion any blame to the young goalkeeper there. For me, it's his defenders, and in particular Marcelo, to let him down.
Much more experienced Marcelo, just switching off, and Real Madrid's lead wiped out. They were so comfortable throughout the first half. VillaReal, though, coming back from 2-0 behind to level this one up. Impressively so. He scored twice last week, Samu Castillejo, in the victory at Deportivo La Coruña, and he's had another major impact here. And now there's another concern for Real Madrid, because Rafa Varane has gone down. I think it's his right ankle. He's held back to his feet by Roger Martinez. Again, I think he's going to be okay, but these little scares are beginning to add up the longer the game goes on as well.
Yeah, it's just the top of his foot got stamped on there by Roger Martinez. He comes across to try and block the ball down the line, gets a yellow card for his trouble. Typical centre forwards challenge, if I may say so. Just bullish. No real chance of getting the ball.
Been a few more of those type of challenges in the second half, though, haven't there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think talk about professional pride kicking in. VillaReal didn't lay a glove on Real Madrid in the entire first period, but obviously a few words exchanged at half-time, and they've come out a completely different side, and they've deserved to be back on parity, to be honest with the way they've played. Real Madrid have been a shadow of themselves, and it's in no small part down to the way that VillaReal have acquitted themselves.
Real Madrid may yet lose this yet. Toni Kroos has lost the ball here up against Castillejo, who was just caught by Kroos just outside the penalty area, only just outside the box on the right-hand side. Again, the yellow card is out, this time for Kroos. And it's all going wrong right at the end for Real Madrid here.
Yeah, they've hit the self-destruct button a little bit, haven't they? Cruising, no real trouble, and all of a sudden they are rocking, they're on the back foot.
We've seen some dramatic evenings at Estadio de la Ceramica throughout this impressive season for VillaReal. Could they yet cap it right at the conclusion by coming back from 2 behind to beat Real Madrid? They've got a minute of the 90 to go, looking to do their first ever league double over the reigning European champions, who are just a week away, of course, from that Champions League final. They've had to get everybody back to defend this inside their own penalty area, Real Madrid. There's a 2-man defensive wall of Bale and Marcelo just inside the box. In fact, it's Toni Kroos alongside Marcelo. Bale on the edge of the 6-yard box just behind them. Castillejo, the man who scored the equalising goal, who won this free kick, is going to stand over this free kick. Got about 6 in yellow to aim for in the middle. It's low, left-footed through the 2-man wall, partially cleared by Carvajal. Almost came back to Castillejo, who didn't quite make the most of that. And Real Madrid now are going to get the free kick for a challenge on Marcelo, level with the edge of their own box.
Yeah, he was trying to be cheeky, didn't he, Castillejo there? Going to go near post, trying to catch everyone off guard.
Quite get away with that one? Will Real Madrid get away with this second half showing? Doesn't appear so. Even a point would not be enough, of course, to take them back above Atleti. Second spot, runners up in La Liga, is 4 minutes away from being done and dusted before even Atletico play against Eibar tomorrow. It will be a day of farewells tomorrow in La Liga. Torres for Atleti, Iniesta for Barca. Here's Benzema though. Real Madrid not done yet. Benzema trying to bend one around the goalkeeper, but Andres Fernandez was equal to it, taking off to his left to keep his team on terms with a big save.
Well, a really, really good save, wasn't it? We were right behind it as Benzema took that shot. It was arrowing towards the far corner, and Andres Fernandez, fully stretched, gets his fingertips to it and knocks the ball behind for a corner.
Really good finish to the game on the East Coast. Here's the corner in from the right hand side. Varane was up from the back, couldn't quite get anything on it. Instead Castillejo tries to bring it away for Villarreal. Almost a minute played of the 4 added on at the end of the 90, so 3 minutes yet for either team to find a winning goal, and both have been threatening to do so.
Yeah, they have. It's just opened up, hasn't it? It's been a thoroughly enjoyable second period, actually. I'm delighted that Villarreal have been more competitive. But, you know, Madrid has still got that little edge, haven't they, whenever they go forward? You just feel that they've got the tools to do some damage. But Gareth Bale's been pretty anonymous in this second period. Haven't seen much of him.
Having looked so sharp early in the game, seems an age ago that he put Real Madrid in front on 11 minutes. Cristiano Ronaldo doubled the lead just past the half-hour mark, but the substitutes Martinez and Castillejo levelling it up for Villarreal.
So what I will say, I mean, of all the games I've seen in La Liga this season, the officials, they're not the best, are they? If I'm being as fair as I can be. I mean, some of the decisions they get wrong or just fail to see is astonishing.
Some debatable calls, shall we say, hasn't there, at
times?
It's
astonishing. I mean, balls rolling out of play by about 1.5 foot, and the linesman looking at the referee to say, I don't know, you decide.
Dani Carvajal's done really well here, actually, to keep the ball in play for Real Madrid. Lucas Vázquez in support just outside of him to his right, trying to deliver the cross from the byline. It's blocked behind, halfway through the 4 added minutes, and Real Madrid have got a corner.
Last chance to lose, isn't it, if they want to try and sway the momentum back in their favour, trying to come away with 3 points, at least put a bit of pressure on Atletico tomorrow. They need to get something from these corners.
Toni Kroos to take, right-footed from the right-hand side. Ramos going up for it, and it fell for Lucas Vázquez just behind him, who flashed the left foot at it, and his effort has flashed just wide of the post. Real chance.
And they just came through to him. Sergio Ramos just jumped underneath it, maybe put Lucas Vázquez off, but he's just swung his left foot. It hasn't got the clearest of connections, and it's gone agonisingly past the left-hand post. Glorious opportunity for Madrid to snatch victory.
There was nothing that Andres Fernandez would have been able to do about it had it gone the other side of the post. Now the yellow cards keep coming here. This time it's Salem El Dassari, another of the substitutes, the only one who hasn't gone on the score sheet actually for Villarreal since he came on for his debut. He has though gone into the book just late on Dani Carvajal.
Yeah, he was a bit overzealous in the challenge there, Salim, wasn't he? But yeah, he's been really impressive since he's come on. He's buzzing around the place. You can see how much it means to him, and again he'll be going to the World Cup with Saudi, and good luck to the young man. It's a great opportunity for the world stage to see these young players.
And the changes have all made a difference for Villarreal, whereby on the flip side for Real Madrid they've taken off some of their star names, of course understandably in the circumstances, which has perhaps affected their rhythm as well, albeit the pattern of play had really shifted before then at the start of the second half. 2-2, the last minute of the 4 added on, and this could be the last attack led by Roberto Soriano for Villarreal. Salem taking over down the left hand side, delivering the cross. Sergio Ramos with the clearance wasn't content to let it go for his goalkeeper Luca. It is the last action though of a really entertaining evening at Estadio de la Ceramica, but it ends all square, and it ends really the defence of their title, which was lost some weeks ago, on a low note for Real Madrid, because they've lost here a 2-goal lead in this final La Liga fixture of the campaign, cruising at half-time with the goals from Gareth Bale and Cristiano Ronaldo. But back came Villarreal to salvage a point, which ensures that Atleti will finish second behind Barca. It's a third-place finish for Real Madrid, whatever the outcome for their neighbours tomorrow, and it's Villarreal guaranteed a 5th-place finish whatever happened here, who are able to celebrate another fine season, really punching above their weight, able to celebrate goals from their substitutes. It's Roger Martinez and Samu Castillejo in the second half to salvage, by the end, a well-deserved share of the spoils. Full time at Estadio de la Ceramica. It has finished Villarreal 2, Real Madrid 2.